Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is earnings extravaganza. The reason we chose that topic is earnings can have a huge impact on the market as well as emotion. Let's see which word that begins with the letter E really will have an impact this week, okay? So Bobby, you start us off. You're the one that came up with the topic, earnings extravaganza. Explain that.
And that's what it is. An earnings extravaganza this week. Over a quarter of S&P 500 companies report earnings. So far, so good. As of Friday, 18% of S&P 500 companies reported earnings. 4.9% are beating, actually better than expected. Also, 78% of those companies are beating the bottom line expectations. So coming in really good. We're looking this week hard to see if we can keep up that good pace. Right. That'd be great if we can continue this. Also, two things we're monitoring from last week. One, trucking. The trucking index is starting to turn. Trucking is a leading economic indicator, and so that's good news. And also housing. There were some housing reports last week that came out. New construction on single-family homes hit a 2019 high. That's good. That's people renovating their homes, taking advantage of good rates, which has kind of led to this. The National Association of Home Builder Sentiment hit a 19-month high as well. So good. Some good news out of the housing sector, but earnings is where the story's at this week.
Yeah, and we're in fourth quarter. We're heading towards year end. Less than 9 days, we'll be in 2020. The holidays are coming up. Trucking's picking up. Shipments have got to go somewhere, right? And they usually do that in advance.
So that's a lot of really good news, and I think the market's at a critical point right here because we're trading at 29.86 on the S&P 500, which is right at the midpoint of resistance. Which resistance is a price point where the market may have trouble going higher. Where sellers will come in and push prices back down.
And that's from a technical analysis standpoint. 29.86. That's an important number.
Yeah. So from a technical standpoint, that's right. Yeah. The earnings will be the fundamental story, and the technical story has a lot more to do with kind of price movement and points. So there's resistance at 30.30, which if we could cross above, that would be great because then we hit all-time highs and the market would move higher from there. And so good earnings could push us above resistance. Then there's support at 29.60. So at 29.86 where we are now, we're kind of at that midway point where the market's not saying moving higher or lower. There's this news that comes out this week, the earnings data could push us either much lower to support or through resistance and much higher. So really good pivotal point right now.
Yeah, well, and that's a great point as well, as we have the emotion and the news that's out there that causes volatility in the market. What you just talked about, though, from a technical analysis standpoint is where buyers and sellers meet each other.
That's right.
Is that in terms of support, that's where the buyers rush in and say, this is a great value. At resistance, it's where the sellers go, well, we may be overvalued, and it brings some logic to the market.
Really well put. Yeah, exactly. If there's more sellers than buyers, the market's going to go down. And the reverse, if there's more buyers than sellers, the markets will go up. It's a pure supply and demand mechanism. So those technical numbers are where we see those buyers come in.
And with that technical analysis, we go back over here to fundamentals on earnings. And if earnings show that they're going up, then that gives everyone from an investing standpoint understanding that the economy's growing, the valuation should go higher. Right. And that's what we're looking at, despite all the emotion that's in the market.
Yeah, we've seen the seesaw in the market like you were talking about because we've had so many conflicting economic reports coming out. Good news, bad news. And if we have a good earnings season, that'll kind of outweigh the bad news in the market. Like we saw retail sales miss last week. Well, there were great news in housing as well. So this is the seesaw we're seeing. But earnings, if they continue to beat, that's great news.
Yeah. So your takeaway today is that we're still seeing a lot of positive information out there in relation to the market. We hope you share this with others. We appreciate those of you that have forwarded this vlog to your friends and colleagues at work and neighbors down the street. We will keep you updated because historically October can be a very volatile month. But the key is to focus on the fundamentals, focus on the emotion in relation to the technical indicators, and that way you're able to navigate through all this chaos. Thanks again. Have a great week.